I'm sure you've heard the term gendered violence or gender-based violence. It's often used by ABC, SBS, and similar outlets. Clearly, they mean violence committed by men against women, yet they attempt to frame it as a neutral concept. For example, Women's Agenda: dangerous silence on gender-based violence this election as our political leaders fail to meet the moment. SBS: Transformative: new national code would target gender-based violence at universities. And ABC: hundreds protest gendered violence after death of Audrey Griffin in Central Coast. Obviously, Audrey Griffin's murder was a horrific tragedy. The 19-year-old woman from New South Wales was found dead in Erina Creek in March, allegedly killed by 53-year-old Adrian Torrens. However, before he could stand trial, Torrens was found dead in his jail cell, reportedly having taken his own life. Naturally, people were outraged, but rather than focusing on the sheer horror of the crime, ABC's coverage seemed more concerned with the gender of both the victim and the perpetrator. In March, the ABC ran a piece asking, "Why are women still dying in Australia?" To be fair, we could ask the same question about men. It's just as valid. In fact, according to the latest national crime statistics from the ABS, recorded crime victims of homicide and related offences were most commonly male, 65%. So nearly 2/3 of victims were men. But don't expect ABC to frame it that way in a headline. Look, I accept that there are more male offenders. According to the latest ABS recorded crime offenders data, 3/4 of offenders were male. The male offender rate was about 3 times higher than that of females. So yes, there are more male criminals, but according to the statistics, they tend to target other males. Obviously, ABC's headlines push a focus on one particular kind of violence: men attacking women. But let's not pretend that women never commit crimes. While researching for this video, it only took me about 15 minutes to gather the following headlines, all from early 2025. This is from Queensland Police News. Woman charged with torture of an infant, Brisbane South. A woman allegedly administered several unauthorised prescription and pharmacy medicines to a 1-year-old girl, causing immense distress and pain. She reportedly filmed the child and posted videos online. Pleasant. To be fair, the ABC did report on this. Woman charged with murder after Dunmore death. A woman is due in court charged with murder following the death of a man near Shell Harbour in January. The Guardian: woman charged with murder of boy in her care in Townsville home. 9 News: woman charged with murder after new roommate found dead in Perth retirement home. 9 News again: second woman charged with murder of man found in burnt-out car in Western Australia. The Guardian: murder charge against Victorian woman dropped after claims she killed husband in her sleep. Apparently, she got off due to parasomnia. Despite stabbing her husband to death, she was suffering from a sleep disorder and therefore not acting in a conscious and voluntary state. No more men's violence, the protesters declare. Okay, the Daily Telegraph: stabbed in the neck, woman charged with attempted murder. BBC: Australian woman charged with assaulting 2 Muslims. WA Today: Perth woman accused of poisoning husband was trying to make him feel better. That classic defence. Woman charged after allegedly driving 17 kilometres on bare rim during pursuit. Woman allegedly glasses servo worker with broken bottle. Footage shows moment cops confront woman allegedly armed with accelerant at servo. No need to panic, it was just a woman wielding a makeshift flamethrower, assaulting an attendant, and setting a fire inside the store. Just another day in Victoria, really. Brisbane Times: woman accused of killing friend, hiding body behind wall at Brisbane unit block. In Canberra: woman charged with rape, inciting attempted suicide of former partner. The Guardian: Sydney woman charged after reports novel contained child abuse material. ABC: man killed, woman arrested in alleged Allawa domestic violence incident. Another stabbing in Darwin. Woman who hit teenage son during argument over technology ban wins conviction appeal. Apparently, she intended to hit the boy on the shoulder, but he ducked. She then went to strike him again, but he moved, causing the blow to land on the back of his neck. Ah, the classic defence. It wasn't her fault. He just moved at the wrong time. How dare he not cooperate with getting hit? Cannibal killer, Aussie mum, Catherine Knight, skinned and cooked husband. Okay, that happened 25 years ago, but the article was published in March to mark the 25th anniversary. Where were we? All right, another incident in Canberra. Woman charged following Dixon carjacking. A 19-year-old woman allegedly threatened two people with weapons before stealing the car they were travelling in. Baulkham Hills stabbing. Woman arrested and 3 children in hospital after alleged attack in Sydney suburb. Apparently, the children's father woke to yells in the Baulkham Hills home and secured the kitchen knife from his partner. If he hadn't been there, one can only wonder how much worse it could have been. This one's rather disturbing. Teenage girl found not guilty of murdering Mildura man after arguing self-defence. According to the article, the girl's barrister, Ms. Lacey, conceded Mr. O'Halloran had not laid a finger on the girl, but argued she was fearful of him because he had a reputation for being involved in fights. Despite this, she plunged a kitchen knife into the victim's chest, claiming she believed the pair was planning to bash or rape her. No actual violence took place, except by the girl. Now she's free, and her boyfriend's friend is dead. Justice does not seem to have been served. And just last month, woman charged with sexual abuse of 7 Sydney aged care residents. Woman charged with attempted murder after female jogger 24 allegedly assaulted in Fitzroy North. Woman charged in connection to man's alleged murder in Sydney's northwest. Man critical after stabbing. Woman arrested. Woman charged over Berry stabbing. Perth woman who randomly punched toddler jailed for disturbing assault. Woman charged after police shooting. It was just an alleged carjacking followed by a 12-hour chase across Melbourne's east. Woman arrested and charged with assault after allegedly stabbing partner in Adelaide's northern suburbs. And Queensland woman charged with murdering partner with motor neurone disease, allegedly fed him cocktail of medications. She allegedly told the man's carer she couldn't take it anymore before giving him a cocktail of medications, despite his expressed wish to go on for at least another week. If it's not already clear, my point is that it's easy to focus on only one side of a situation. If I'd presented just the examples I did, you might think that women in Australia are terribly violent people, which is exactly the kind of framing often applied to men in the Australian media. Instead of focusing solely on the gender of those committing these terrible crimes, or holding marches specifically against gendered violence, shouldn't we be condemning violence in all its forms, regardless of who the perpetrator is? Yes, violence against women is terrible, but isn't violence unacceptable no matter who the victim is?